You ever get that feeling that you're just stuck in a system that wasn't built for the world we live in now? I mean, from the traffic jams that make no sense to packages that seem to take forever, our transportation networks are, well, they're creaking under the strain. But what if the solution wasn't just more roads or more trucks? What if it was a smarter brain running the whole show? That's what we're going to dive into.
Okay, let's just start with a number that honestly is kind of mind-blowing. 35%. Think about that. More than a third of the huge trucks you see barreling down the highway are completely empty. They're just burning fuel to move air from one place to another. This isn't some small little inefficiency, right? This is a massive, systemic waste of resources, of time, and of money.
So that brings us to the big what if. What if we could give our entire transportation system a central nervous system, an AI brain that could see everything, all at once? All the empty trucks, the traffic jams that are just starting to form, the bus schedules, and just optimize it all in real time. That is the promise we're exploring today. And this technology, it has a name, Agentic AI. Now, this is not just about simple automation, like a robot on an assembly line. No, this is about creating an autonomous brain that actively makes decisions, that coordinates millions of moving parts. It orchestrates the entire complex dance of modern logistics. So let's get into it and explore 5 incredible ways this AI brain is already starting to reshape our world.
First up, let's talk about the daily nightmare for millions of us, city traffic. The concept here is called the AI Adaptive Digital Twin, or as I like to call it, City Brain 2.0.
What's so wild about this is the fundamental shift it represents. We're moving away from these, kind of dumb, reactive traffic lights that are just on fixed timers. Instead, the AI creates this living, breathing digital twin of the city. It simulates traffic up to an hour ahead of time to predict jams before they even happen, and then dynamically changes the lights to keep everything flowing smoothly.
And the results? They're pretty staggering. We're talking about a potential 25% reduction in travel time and a 20% cut in emissions. But what really shows you how smart it is that the system is event-aware. It knows a big concert is about to end and can preemptively change the traffic flow to handle that surge of people. It's thinking ahead.
So, building on that intelligence, our second idea tackles the electric vehicle revolution, because as huge companies like Amazon and FedEx switch over to EV fleets, they're running into a whole new set of really complex problems. So here's the crucial point. Traditionally, logistics software could optimize for the shortest route, or it could optimize for the best charging time, but it could never do both at once. The big breakthrough here is an AI that treats them as a single, connected problem. It gets that it's not just about the path, it's about the power. And this all leads to a new concept called energy-aware logistics. So the AI doesn't just see a battery percentage, it actually predicts the battery's long-term health. It knows which charging stations are slammed right now and will reroute its vehicles to avoid those lines. It can even plan a route through hilly areas to get the most energy back from regenerative braking. How cool is that? All right, idea number 3. This brings that same intelligence to the masses with AI-powered public transport. Have you ever been the only person on a giant city bus? Yeah, me too. The goal here is to solve that exact problem. These huge, nearly empty buses running on fixed, super inefficient routes. And the contrast is just stark. The old model is totally rigid. The bus shows up at 10:15 a.m. whether there's one person waiting or 20. The new AI model, though, is fluid. It creates a demand-driven system that can adjust how often it runs and even change its route in real time based on where the passengers actually are. This system can literally predict where groups of passengers are going to form and then send buses to meet them. We're talking about reducing wait times by as much as 34%. It can even use dynamic pricing. Think Uber Surge, but kind of in reverse, offering cheaper fares during off-peak times to gently nudge our behavior and spread out the demand. And now, for the most ambitious idea of them all. This isn't just about one city or one company's fleet. No, this is an AI brain for the entire supply chain, from the factory floor all the way to your front door.
See, the problem today is that every shipping company, every warehouse, every port, they all operate in their own little data silo. This AI acts as a central brain, like a neutral third party that can see everyone's needs and assets, which enables a level of coordination that's just impossible today. This orchestrator can match cargo to the nearest available vehicle in real time, even if they're from totally different companies. It coordinates the entire flow of goods between trucks, automated warehouses, and delivery robots. And the potential impact? A 10 to 15% cut in logistics emissions. On a global scale, that is absolutely monumental.
Okay, our final idea shifts the focus from just efficiency to something even more important: safety. Because what if AI could do more than just help clean up after accidents? What if it could prevent them from ever happening in the first place?
The real breakthrough here is the shift from being reactive to being predictive. For decades, safety improvements have come from analyzing tragic accidents after they've already happened. This new approach uses AI to analyze thousands of hours of video to find the near misses, the close calls, and it learns the patterns that lead to crashes before they occur.
It uses computer vision to spot dangerous driving behaviors as they're happening. It can generate hazard heat maps for city planners, pointing out intersections where near misses are common before a fatality ever happens. And this directly targets the single biggest cause of accidents, the 90% of crashes caused by human error.
So of all these ideas, that orchestrator is arguably the most ambitious, just because it connects everything together. So let's zoom in on how it actually works. The best way to think about it is as an air traffic control tower for the ground. But instead of planes, it's coordinating every single package, truck, drone, and robot in the system, from end to end. And this isn't magic. It follows a really clear, logical flow. First, you seed a demo. You create a scenario with all the packages and trucks. Second, the AI's digital twin persists that data. Basically, it remembers the state of everything. Then, when something changes, like a new package arrives, it emits an event. Finally, based on that event, the AI scores all the possible plans and chooses the absolute best next move for every single thing in the network. It's just this constant cycle of observing, learning, and optimizing. And if you're thinking this is all just theory, get this: main.py. That's not just some random text on a slide. That's a real file path from a real codebase. We're looking at the address for the AI's main brain. This stuff is being built, line by line, as we speak.
So, while the orchestrator might be the most ambitious, it's not always the best solution. The best approach really just depends on the goal. For instance, the orchestrator has huge startup potential, for sure. But the digital twin? That's perfect for a smart city project funded by the government. And for a company laser-focused on sustainability, the EV platform is a clear winner. The point is, there's no single right answer, just the right tool for the job.
And that brings us to our final thought. These incredibly powerful AI brains, they're not science fiction anymore. They are actively being built and deployed right now. They're going to decide how our packages get delivered, how our traffic flows, how our cities operate. So the real question isn't if this is going to happen, but who gets to write the rules they'll follow? Who gets to decide what optimal really means for all of us? That's the conversation we all need to start having right now.